Hey folks, welcome back to the show. I'm Paul Gustafson and this is Healthy Hypnosis, the show that helps to educate and enlighten people on the serious-minded, helpful side of the field of hypnotherapy. I have a friend and colleague, Tom Nicoli, back again. Welcome back, Tom.
Thank you, Paul. Always a pleasure.
Tonight's show we're going to talk about the anatomy of hypnosis, how it breaks down in the components. We'll focus on inductions. The part of the process that really gets the ball rolling with the hypnosis process. And we also have a special guest, Dara, one of Tom's clients, who's going to come on to talk briefly about her experience with hypnosis sessions with Tom. And then Tom is going to demonstrate hypnosis here in the studio, so this is going to be great. How would you break down the various aspects of the process of hypnosis?
The format from beginning to end is pretty much set up with induction, inducing the state that we refer to as the hypnotic state, deepening that state, and then delivering the suggestions that we're going to use or doing the work we would do with the subconscious. Maybe it's retrieving information, or maybe it's allowing the client to sit quietly for a while in order to get answers to questions on their own in that state.
Right.
And then the emergence, which would be bringing them back up to a complete aware and alert state. Though, as you know, when they're in, quote-unquote, the state of hypnosis, the hypnotic state of mind, they're still aware. Matter of fact, there's a higher awareness at different levels. It's just the conscious awareness has been bypassed, so we bring them back to that whole conscious awareness at the end. And that's pretty much how it's set up.
Bringing them up and out of hypnosis is bringing them back to their conscious awareness.
Right, back from how the depth is. You know, hypnosis breaking down into 6 levels. There are 3 levels in the daydream state, and then 3 levels that are deeper in the dream state. And anything below that is unconsciousness, anything above that is analytical thinking. So hypnosis, or the hypnotic state of mind, is applied in a daydream or a dream state.
I see. Do you find that different approaches are required for different types of clients?
That's a good question. The mistake a lot of even hypnotists make when they're in practice is they get trained and they, learn enough to start going. It's like I say, when you get your license, you can drive, but I don't think you're driving the bigger vehicles or nowadays, standards, and you don't drive in bad weather that well, so you have to drive to get good at it. The traditional, typical, most well-known induction is one of progressive relaxation, where it's a body scan talking about all parts of the body, a long, slow process of deep relaxation. However, imagine working with somebody who's analytical, somebody who is always on thought. Well, if you do that, they're going to be impatient, it's going to be difficult, and you're not going to achieve the results you want. So there are a variety of types of inductions gauged to the different individuals that you work with.
So you'll get a sense from a few minutes of conversation with a particular client as to whether they might be on the analytical side of things. And
sure. Now imagine in the progressive relaxation, there's a lot of imagery involved. Now, if I'm working with somebody who, when they close their eyes, they don't actually imagine vividly. They may imagine what it's like to blank, but they don't really see a blue sky and a beach and waves. Right. And one easy way to do that is, I'll ask a client, close your eyes for a moment. Do you know the car you came here in? Can you imagine it right now? If they say yes, I say, can you see the color of it? And if they say yes, then I ask them to change the color of it and ask them if they did. Well, I just found out that they're visual.
Right. Yeah.
So it can be quick and easy.
In my practice, I'm often saying to clients to think about or imagine, use the words or use the images, whichever.
The reason why I get skittish about that word think is that they may start actually thinking.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. It's like, well, think what it would be like, or imagine as if.
Consider the possibility.
But we have to explain that to people, because when you don't know about something, you take everything literally.
Right.
So if we say imagine, they almost feel like they're supposed to see it in their mind's eye like a movie.
Right.
But a lot of times we say, well, just feel what that would be like.
And you notice the difference, I'm sure, as I do, when a client comes back for the second session. They know more. Hugely different experience.
Because number one, all the myths and misconceptions have been washed away. They had a true experience.
Right. And
then in between the sessions, they're listening to the hypnosis CD you sent them home with, or practicing self-hypnosis. So it's like I tell them when they come in, I say, you know what's great about today? is that just like anything we do, the more we do it, the better we get at it.
Yeah.
So you're already better at this.
I do the exact same thing. Really
Yep.
build that up.
Oh, I got it from you.
So you get different clients, different approaches. How are you measuring the depth of the hypnotic experience?
It's a good question. The way we measure, quote unquote, the depth of the hypnotic state is through what we call tests/convincers. It's a indication to us, so it's like a test, but it's a convincer to the client. So if we start with small muscle groups, like the muscles around your eyelids, and we ask them to open their eyes, and they go to pull them open. No, if they really, really tried, they'd be able to. Right. But they just go to pull them open, they don't open. Well, we know that the first levels are happening, and then we work from there and we build upon it, which we call fractionation. So you're compounding and building upon little tests, convincers, to bigger. Right. So then it may be arm catalepsy, and they try to lift their arm and they're just not going to. And then we go deeper and we go into glove analgesia, where they'll feel touch but no pain at all. Right. And I'll have them open their eyes and look at their hand, and my fingernail marks are really deep in their hand. And they really didn't feel any pinch at all. They just felt me touching them.
So you're performing these measurement approaches with each client on
which
each session.
Gauges,
yeah.
excuse me, and then when you do deeper work and more effective work, you want to get into what we call somnambulism, which is the sleepwalk state, and that would be, say, level 4 down. And how you test that is usually through a number amnesia, where you have them just count numbers back and then they just fall from their mind. Right. And once that happens, you know they're in that state.
Right. Excellent. So there's real science to this field, isn't there? That's
well,
what I think
there really is.
People need to know this.
Yeah, you know, I'm taking a new quantum physics course, and I was reading a book today about how what was once all spiritual is now being proven scientifically through quantum physics. Right. Well, what was once believed, for those who didn't think it was all hocus pocus, that we refer to hypnosis, we actually now can scientifically prove. As a matter of fact, when Harvard did that test, and they did brain scans, they had people imagine colors, and the same portions of the brain went off as if they actually looked at them. Right. So now with MRIs and all the digital resonancing we have, people can actually be tested and notice that the same responses. Dennis Waitley, Dr. Dennis Waitley, he did a test with people, with Olympic athletes. And when he had them visualize in a hypnotic state doing an event, the parts of the brain and muscle groups that would responded just as if they did the event.
Yeah, the evidence is mounting, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring Dara out, and we're going to listen to about her experience, and then we're going to do some hypnosis.
Fantastic.
Sound good?
Sounds excellent.
Let's do it.